Working at the dump cause he doesn't commit any crimes. Every single week he sees the same trash can arrive. Never thought to ask why there always was a man inside. But inside a trash can you never know what you can find. Starbucks Wi-Fi and decent audio equipment too. So tune into cold hard trash for you. It's a podcast. Welcome to Cold Hard Trash CRT episode 108. I'm your host, Trash Can Jones.
And I'm Breeg, your fellow host.
What an interesting day we got today. We're in the middle of a smokeout that we're doing, so we're in a new location than usual at Breeg's place, but we're in a
newer location.
Yeah, we're sequestered in the off room from the kitchen because the kitchen's quite busy at the moment. Got some good cooking going on. Can't wait for that.
Gonna have some brisket. Gonna have some smoked meats.
Gonna have lots of salads, some mac and cheese, all the good stuff. All the good stuff. Smoking meats, smoking brisket and ribs.
No
Anybody
ribs,
else having
though.
brisket and ribs? Yeah, no ribs for us. We're just doing the Mark Zuckerberg thing.
Yeah, we're not living up to his good name.
So before we started the episode today, I asked Breeg to pick his favorite football team, but based on specifically the uniform on how it looks. Because a lot of the people who were, fans from football as a kid, that was if they were looking at out-of-market teams, that was if they didn't like their home team for whatever reason. That was a lot of the ways that they picked their favorite team, was just how the jersey looked.
The stipulation there, if they didn't like their home team, is the one that you missed when we were talking about this earlier. And I'm like, no, that is not.
I mean, it's not even like if they didn't like the home team, because sometimes just the home team just, I don't know, you're just not really into it. Like some people, even though they live right by the Cubs stadium, aren't exactly like Cubs fans. Maybe they just really like, I don't know, the Braves or something, because they saw the Braves on TV first before they saw the Cubs on TV. You know, there's lots of ways it can happen.
I highly doubt somebody in Wrigleyville feels that way. But
you never know.
Yeah, in Chicago, sure.
Yeah, for Chicago sports especially, we take a lot of lulls. So, but anyway, as I was getting to, Breeg had chosen the Miami Dolphins as his favorite uniform looking.
I said that one.
Pretty good. It's pretty good. The Miami Dolphins have a lot of rich history. Do you know anything about them?
I mean, don't they do pretty decent?
I mean, yeah, nowadays, yeah. Their most recent, I guess, it's not really like... It wouldn't really be like their most recent accolade, but they had Tua Tagovailoa, who was I believe, Samoan player who was their quarterback. And he suffered one of the worst concussions like I've ever seen on film ever when he got hit in the game and was doing jutsus on the ground because he got hit so hard. Mm-hmm. And then it was such a big thing and the people were sparking outrage because it always comes around every once in a while of, hey, concussions are a real problem, NFL. Why don't you do something about it? And they're like, no. But they did the Guardian helmet thing because of what happened to Tua Tagovailoa. They really put it more into effect after that. And when he came back from, the super concussion injury, they were like, hey, you going to use these new Guardian helmets? He's like, nah, it's some bitch shit. Why would I do that? Then he went out and got an even worse concussion after that.
Yeah, well, I mean, he walked away from the first one. He felt fine afterwards,
You always do. That's the whole point of a boxing referee. Yeah, I feel fine. I can get back to this fight. Yeah, you're about to die. Go sit down.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
He doesn't get it. He has a severe concussion. Why would you trust him?
Well, at that point, it was like weeks after the fact. He was supposedly healed and cleared back up. But yeah, no, he was willing to die on his sword. He was like, fuck them Guardian helmets. I'm going to go get myself another concussion. I'm going to keep diving for first downs head first. Fuck you guys. And yeah, he did. And I don't think he's starting anymore. Don't think he's really like a great quarterback prospect like Miami had wanted. But
well, how long ago was that anyways?
Like 5 years ago, 6 years ago at this point.
How long of careers do quarterbacks have? Because I thought Peyton Manning had like a really long one, but I thought that was like an exception.
Yes, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, like the GOATs usually have a pretty elongated career because they're so good and can keep themselves at such a high level for a long time. Generally, it's about 3 to 4 years you get for your NFL quarterback for like starting position, because a lot of the times they'll start for there, they'll like float around, be like backup somewhere else. So a lot of the times if it's like a starting top tier quarterback, 3 to 4 years, and then you're going to be floating around into the backup sector, and then it's however long you want to stay or however long you can stay, I guess, because sometimes even if you're a good enough quarterback to be a backup, teams just won't draft you. So you don't get a job. You could be like Kurt Warner. You're like, fuck this. I'm just going to go bag groceries. And then your old coach from the NFL was like, what if you just do it one more time? And he goes, all right, fine. And then he goes and wins the Super Bowl.
Just one more job.
That was Kurt Warner's whole shit. He was bagging groceries on Monday and playing Thursday Night Football because you got the call on Tuesday. Great story. But the Miami Dolphins, their, I think, biggest accolade, I would have to say, is Dan Marino. You know anything about him?
No, but feels like a fitting name for a dolphin.
right? The Mariner kind of man. He was an all-time legend quarterback. I think he's one of the greatest quarterbacks ever to not win a Super Bowl, which is an unfortunate accolade to have. But he was a fantastic quarterback, had one of the greatest throwing motions that anybody had ever seen. When quarterbacks try to, like pick a quarterback to emulate off of, they often choose Dan Marino to be like that quick up-and-out release. Mm-hmm. From his own words, it was like he learned when he was a kid, like how to throw a football, up, out. No, like, back around, no wind up, anything. So he's just like, I just did that for my whole life. And as soon as a college scout saw him do that, they were like, never stop doing that ever. And he became like a legendary quarterback just from that, like, being able to drop back and then bing, balls out before you can even see it.
Damn.
A really funny accolade from Dan Marino is his last football game ever was against the Jacksonville Jaguars, which is why I was kind of really happy you picked the Dolphins. Because his last game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Jaguars were on fire. They fucked Dan Marino up and down and sideways so bad. He left after the third quarter. He threw one touchdown because they like put together one half decent drive. He was able to get it in, and then they just benched him. They were like, Dan Marino's retiring. We're not even going to put him in for the last quarter of this shit show. Sorry.
Was this the Super Bowl or?
No, it was just like I don't even think it was a playoff game. I think it was a regular season game. The Dolphins weren't going to be going to the playoffs. They kind of knew. So they were just like, this is Dan Marino's last game. It's his send-off. And the Jaguars just fucked him up. They put the foot on the gas, and they did not take it off. It was awesome. It's just such like, you talk about like, oh, Dan Marino, he's a legendary quarterback, did so great things. But unfortunately, he never really won a Super Bowl. And then you look at like his send-off game, and it's like, we're going to put that away too. We don't want to talk about that. Let's focus on the beginning of his career and maybe a little bit of the middle. And then the end, we'll just, he was there. He was playing football. He was still doing good.
Well, how many years was he in the game at that point?
Oh, Dan Marino, I think, was just shy of a decade. It might have been just over a decade. I forget. Dan Marino career time. I think it was either 9 or 12. One of those things. Career stats. It'll tell me like when he played, right? 242 games. Dang, so that might be like a 10-year plus. Because it was a 16-game season back then.
Well, 16-game season, not counting playoffs, and
yeah, not counting playoffs in that. So that's very true. So it was from
even then that sounds like 12 to me.
1983 to 1999. So that would be 15.
Yeah,
so 16.
Yeah,
not bad. Big long career. Yeah, those guys who can keep it a high level for a long time. Because the biggest thing too, if you're a good quarterback, then you get probably treated very well by your team. You get very good access to medical facilities. They pay you very well. You can take care of yourself very well. Whereas even if you're a good quarterback on like a shitty team, you're kind of struggling to survive, Mm-hmm. The best contract they can afford you is like $20 million. Meanwhile, Tom Brady's getting paid hundreds of millions,
Struggling to survive on $20 million.
Well, yeah, that kind of, you can't afford like a full-time spa, like staff in your house, and shit like that, like Tom Brady can get, and like IV drips after every single game. Like maybe like the Patriots do that for Tom Brady, whereas like Michael Vick, or I don't know why I said Michael Vick, just because I was thinking of Falcons. But any other quarterback who was really good and underappreciated, not on a great team, doesn't have that kind of luxury with them.
Why didn't Marino just dogfight?
What do you mean? Well, back then, I don't know if that was a really big thing. Well, it was the 80s and 90s, so maybe actually. He was in like Miami, Florida, so it was probably actually really big. He could have been. He could have been doing some.
I bet he could have found some cockfighting rings.
Oh yeah, definitely. Miami in the 80s was going nuts. That's the whole Miami Vice era. Yeah. Dan Marino was like the king of that shit.
Now, to be clear about my choice in teams, as I would have gone directly for the Bears, and that's like
hometown
reflection of bias too.
Right.
Like I like it because I like it.
That's why I said specifically the favorite besides the hometown, just because like the hometown team is the hometown team, even if they're you're gonna root for them.
Yeah. Well, you also did say just pick based off of looks, but the thing is that like that shade of blue kind of showed up in multiple jerseys.
Yeah,
it made
Dolphins,
it a bit harder to...
The Dolphins teal and the Jaguars teal are very similar. The Jaguars definitely has a tinge more of like blue to make it more of like ocean, whereas the Dolphins is a bit more green to make it more like aquamarine kind of color. But I think then the Panthers and the other ones just have more like powder blue type things. The Titans as well. I almost called them the Oilers because I've been thinking about all the past shit. But yeah, the Jaguars and the Dolphins, kind of similar uniforms. But another cool thing about the Dolphins is because they play in Florida with a big hot sun going on their games all the time, their home jerseys are white. Whereas traditionally, away jerseys are white just because you're going to wear your not colors and the home team's going to wear their colors. But because it's so damn hot, they're like, well, we're going to wear white jerseys. We're not wearing colored jerseys. You guys can wear the colored jerseys and get extra hot in your shit. Ha-ha.
That's the home field advantage.
Yeah, a little bit extra. Miami's going to do a little dance on you. We get to wear the white. You have to bring your home jerseys. Jerks. It's pretty funny. I think the Cowboys do that too. I don't know if they do it every time because now they're doing like the throwback jerseys and a lot they do for home games and like special events. But it used to be a thing that Cowboys did a lot too.
Well, they should just use their big 10-gallon hats.
On top of their helmets, everybody just gets a big 10-gallon hat. That'd be pretty great.
Keep them shady.
I'd love it. Then you get tackled and the hat just goes flying. Oh, that was always they took that out of Madden games. That was a thing, like you could get hit so hard like the helmet of your player could go flying off, and it was so cool because that would sometimes happen in real life NFL. Nowadays they got way better chin straps, but it was always the coolest shit when like Drew Brees did it once, Sean Hill did it once, where like they're rolling out, somebody tries to tackle them, they're like, nah, get off me, and they get their helmet ripped off and they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna keep playing. They keep running, stiff arm another guy. Hey, it's cool as shit. It's like in Fallout when you have like the power armor and you have the helmet off and you're still fighting. It's like, damn, that's an extra cool look.
Yeah.
Can't do that anymore in the NFL though. As soon as the helmet comes off, plays whistle dead. Boo.
Plays dead. You don't even get the yards.
Nope. Well, it's dead. Ball's dead at the spot. So you get the yards. Like you have to stop and ball's right there. Boo. Boo. NFL referees. Boo. Safety. We don't like that. We want guys to still be able to get hit when they don't have helmets. That would be terrible. That would actually scramble somebody's brains.
Here's an idea that probably would not fly today, but, again, if we have a time machine, go back like 20, 30 years. Have a guy on the team disguise himself as a streaker.
Disguise himself as a streaker, so just get naked.
Yeah. Have his starting position on the sidelines. Play starts. He runs out. Everyone's like, oh, man. And they're like, stop playing. Grab the ball. Run it in.
So there is a play somewhat similar to that called, it's famously called the wrong ball play. You see it done in high school more often than not just because you're not going to fall for it at the NFL level. But what they'll do is the quarterback will be like, oh, hey, because especially at high school, like you use this whatever specific brand of ball. There's no like overall whatever. So the high school quarterback will come and be like, oh, hey, we were using the wrong ball, actually. We need to switch it out. And a coach on the sidelines will start like tossing up a ball, be like, oh, yeah, this is the one right here. And so what the center will do is he'll take the ball and he'll do like this behind him. And technically in the rule book, that is a legal snap. As like, center usually just puts it between his legs. He could do it that way if he wants it to, but, normally you just get the ball whacked out of your hands if you do that. You want to just quickest. So he does it that way, and everybody thinks like, oh, he's just handing him the ball. And the quarterback just takes like, yeah, whatever, walks past everybody. Then as soon as he realizes he's got the clear, just takes off. And everybody's like, oh, darn it, no, he tricked us. And then run after
stupid.
It's so stupid, but it's so fun. I don't think it'll ever happen again because it became like, it was with like America's Funniest Home Videos, like was a viral moment on there. Like that's how old of a trick this is. So people are very wise to it nowadays. They're not falling for that.
I loved AFV.
Oh, yeah. That was
the AFV eventually turned into fail comps.
Yeah.
Straight line.
I was going to say AFV was like the proto like YouTube compilations and stuff because you'd be able to talk about that like at school the next day. Like you watch AFV, like you see this YouTube video. That's that same type of shit. It was way ahead of its time.
Do you remember doing football in the fraternity?
Yeah.
And the stupid plays that we would do?
Yeah, of course. The swim move. You just get the swim cap and the goggles and you just dive into the dirt.
Yep.
I love in PFPS where they just take out the cigarette and put it right there. We get a penalty for roughing the cigarette. 100 yards back.
There was one I remember. I don't remember the name of the play, but the quarterback would just take the ball and then like pretend to throw it and then put it behind their back, and then someone else with a football in the end zone would just stand there and be like, I got it.
No, ref, look, he caught it. No, I know what you're talking about. Like, put it on your pants, be like, whoa, I don't have the ball. You're pretty good.
There's also one where they just lifted up a guy.
That's pretty good, too.
Carried him.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Can't grab his flags if he's up all the way up there.
Yeah.
Very illegal to do in real football, except for the tush push. The good old tush push. The Eagles have made that their old bread and butter, which is basically just you have the quarterback take the ball, you line up two big, strong guys behind him, and then they just run into the back of their quarterback and push his ass as hard as they can. And yeah, they just try to force the ball inward. You just crunch your quarterback holding the ball over the line.
Huh.
And people say it's like real bullshit because you can't really defend against that other than just like spearheading missile bodies into it. But yeah, no, it's guaranteed 1 yard every time. Good old tush push. Especially because like a lot of the times they'll literally get up under it and like forklift them, so they'll kind of just like push them over the pile. It's pretty fun.
But otherwise, lifting is
illegal. Yeah, you can't pick up a person and like carry him. Even if you're like tackling them and like, you know, you're going to tackle them and carry them backwards, as soon as they start going backwards, it's whistle dead. You get what's called forward progress. They just nail the ball down like, all right, you were moving forward, then got backwards, so we're going to give you the ball at the furthest point you were forward. But if you fumble the ball, then it can go wherever. As long as the ball's not in your hands, you could like throw it backwards on accident or throw it forwards on accident. And then, oh, no, they went that way. I was about to get tackled, but the ball fell out of my hands. And then my teammate was over there and he grabbed it. Because you can't pass it forward after you get the ball, obviously, like when you're running down the field. But there's...
Well, I actually didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. You can only pass the ball backwards once you're past the line of scrimmage. So you can do behind the line of scrimmage, you can do pass it anytime, as many times as you want. So there's a trick play like a quarterback can throw it to the halfback, and then the halfback can be like, oh, I'm going to run it. Psych, I'm actually going to drop back and I'm going to pass it a second time because we're still behind the line of scrimmage here. And if you're after the line of scrimmage, if you're running the ball and you're about to get tackled and say your teammate's coming up right here, you can just be like, oh, you take it from behind. And then the guy tackles you and your teammate just runs with it and scores. Not seen a whole lot, but there's a lot of great highlights from like the early 2000s of people trying to pull that off.
I like how you ended that with and scores. Like, like if every play could end like that, like, why is it rare?
Because it's rare that people even like think to do that, especially because like you get to the point where you're making $40 million, you're living your dream. Are you really going to take a risk like that make you look like the biggest asshole on the planet? Like that might cost you your job if you fuck that up.
It's fine.
Coaches can be strict. There's people fighting for your position. That's always how it is. It's a competition always. It's kind of funny now that I say that. When you look at the highlights, the guys who are doing it are like Randy Moss and Calvin Johnson and stuff like that. Guys who were stars at the time and probably thought like, yeah, my job's safe. I could, even if I fuck this up, it'll be fine. It's wild. Wild to think. Yeah, going back to the Miami Dolphins, I can't think of too many more stars they had on there. Dan Marino, Tua Tagovailoa, they were two like real good quarterbacks. I guess they had Larry Zonka was on. Was he on the Titans or the Dolphins? Larry Zonka was another crazy running back. He's the only halfback to ever get called for unnecessary roughness while he was running the ball because he stiff-armed somebody so hard that he basically just punched him in the face. And it was in the era where like the helmets were just this little thin one bars. Have you ever seen old football helmets, like when they first put face masks on?
No, but
oh my god, dude! Oh, you got to see these.
Actually,
it's just a joke. It's a joke. How much? Like, what is that supposed to do?
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
It's literally like that's a guy wearing it. Like, what is that supposed to do for protection at all? So he would like stiff arm people, and literally just be able to punch them in the eye.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Thinking back to those helmets, like who thought that was a good idea? When you look back, like they used to wear like the leather helmets that were just like a strap underneath the chin. So I guess it's like a step up from that, but the football can still fit into your face. Like it's not protecting you from shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean technically it's a step forward, yada yada yada. But like if the goal is to protect your face.
He was on the Dolphins. Larry Zonka was on the Dolphins. So you got Larry Zonka on your Hall of Fame team too. Hell yeah.
Yes, I like his last name.
It's pretty good. Anyway, you were about to say, though, I interrupted you.
No, I just think I said I liked his last name.
No. Well, Larry Zonka.
The helmet's stupid.
The helmet, very stupid. But Larry Zonka took full advantage of that. He's like, all right, I'm just going to try and hit you in the, whatever it would be, like the sweet spot. And it's really going to make you hurt. You're going to try and tackle me, you're going to fucking regret it, pal. He was one of those guys that had like his full hand like taped up and everything too. So he was literally just like a boxer, ready to go out there and just fight people. Shout out to Larry Zonka, badass. Miami Dolphins, not a bad choice. They are not one of like the original teams of like the original made in the NFL. I think they were an expansion in the 70s.
DLC.
Yeah, one of the NFL deals. No, I think they were expansion in the AFL. So they were part of the AFL and they got brought into the NFL. The AFL was like the big, we're going to pass the ball a whole lot and do all this cool new stuff that the NFL's not doing because they're all like run the ball and yeah. And then they eventually merged and then...
Do they have different rules?
No, it was the same rules. It was just the AFL was like the new cool league, whereas the NFL was like the stalwart, we're going to do things the right way league. And then they were kind of both getting up to a head, and then they both just merged. They realized, we're both playing football here. Who cares if we're trying to like keep the old traditions alive or like let it evolve type shit? And that kind of all went to the past in lieu of money.
So you're saying like this is like how the leagues work and stuff like that, but like the leagues aren't, like they don't have any say in how the players play. It's just
it's the coaches.
Just coaches being inspired by one another.
Yeah, essentially. It was like if you were a coach in the NFL, it was like you kind of felt like, all right, I have to coach like the NFL, like the guys before me. I have to coach like Vince Lombardi coach. I have to coach like George Halas coach. I have to coach like, those legendary coaches of the day. That was who set the star, or set the standard, rather. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it just kind of was that way. And then when the AFL kind of got made, it was a lot of those coaches were people who kind of didn't fit into the NFL because they wanted to do different passing schemes and different things like that. So that's just kind of how it went. And it was in the days where the NFL was still not like a giant conglomerate, so there was definitely an opportunity for competition. So they were like, all right, we're going to take this opportunity. And they basically won with it. They didn't overtake the NFL, but getting so big to where the NFL has to recognize and merge with you, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good work by the AFL.
Yeah, probably can't pull it off now because they need to get as big as the NFL and the AFL.
The AFL doesn't exist anymore.
I know,
but yeah.
Like the NFL and it's, like merged.
Right, AFL. Especially now. It's like a mega conglomerate. Nothing's going to compete with the NFL nowadays.
Yeah.
Even like the
way
XFL.
I'm describing this is kind of like, when you eat your twin in the womb, you have the strength of a full-grown man,
right?
And like a 3-month
old
fetus.
Baby. Yeah, a little extra. You got one little extra tick. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, the USFL and the XFL both not going to be able to compete with the NFL anytime soon. I don't even think they're doing seasons this year. So, sorry. Canadian Football League's pretty cool though. They do a whole 3-down system. It's a little bit faster. They also do like I think 120-yard field. It's like it's a little strange, but it's basically the same rules as football. Canadian football's pretty big.
And there's difference in
a lot of quarterbacks.
And
a lot of quarterbacks who can't hack it in the NFL, or can't hack it. I shouldn't say that because it's a very competitive thing. There's only so many spots. A lot of quarterbacks who just end up falling out of the NFL go to the CFL. Mm-hmm. Good money. Good money. Speaking of going to different leagues, though. The WNBA, a lot of women who don't feel like they're getting treated well there end up going over to Russia for like G Leagues and stuff to actually get paid what they think they're worth. But the WNBA, have you Caitlin Clark? Familiar with that name?
No.
So the WNBA largely is kind of treated as like a joke, and whether that's the fact of it's because they don't really produce the amount of money and star power that the NBA has, and if that's because they're not trying to push these stars, or if that is just because they don't have the stars. It's always been the debate, right? Like chicken or the egg. Was it because they don't have it or because they're not getting the support? With Caitlin Clark coming in, that kind of argument has become moot because Caitlin Clark is a star. She's getting noticed on like national recognition, and they literally have to like move games for different stadiums because the tickets sell out and people want more, and they're still not doing anything with that. And it's just like, okay, so what the fuck's going on here? Is this like a real sport that we're just kind of letting this go afoul?
No, there's just the fact that they aren't like
they aren't pushing her. They aren't giving her any kind of marketing, aren't giving her any sponsorship deals and whatnot. And part of it is because like I guess she might have done her own like marketing deal to where like she gets like to choose, like say yes on her own thing. I don't know, it's a whole like complicated thing where she gets like a final say on it. Either way, she's not getting any like opportunity to do that. And it's a little unfortunate. And what's doubling down on it is there's a thing happen, which I'll provide a little more nuance on. Thing going on now, which is getting really viral, where Caitlin Clark is getting obsessively fouled because she's that type of person who just hit a shot over you and be like, that's right, I did that, and I'm going to do it again. That's why she got so popular. She's cocky, she's like smart mouth, and she's good as fuck at basketball. She'll talk all the shit in the world, and she'll back more than all of it up. So like that's why she's getting popular. And people is like, and it's never like disrespectful. Like she's never like, yeah, fuck you, you suck. But she says the type of things that as soon as you get embarrassed, you don't want to hear, and would make you like really angry. And so people, other athletes, when they retaliate, like come down with an elbow on a rebound or very blatantly trip her and like, you know, make her bleed out of her forehead to where she has to get bandaged up and come back in the game because she doesn't give a shit. She's a badass. And then just don't call the fouls on her though, because fucking it's whatever. And it's just like. It's bad for anybody, especially for somebody. You should be like calling this on Caitlin Clark. She's like the jewel of this league. You should protect her over anybody else. Like I understand, yeah, you don't want to call ticky-tacky fouls and whatnot, but like, shit, come on. This is getting crazy. You really don't care about the WNBA if you're letting this shit go. I will give one little bit of nuance because the WNBA came under fire some years ago for specifically referees calling more ticky-tacky fouls on the black athletes over the white athletes, so maybe there is a thing there of just they don't want to call the fouls on the black athletes who are fouling Caitlin Clark, and they're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place of we want to make Caitlin Clark happy, but we don't want to make the fans mad at us, but there's really nothing to do. So in some respect, maybe I can understand, but at the same time, when she's getting her fucking eyebrow busted open and having to get bandaged up and come back, make something happen. Get some technicals out there for some fucking people. This is ridiculous. Eventually, she's just going to go to the G League. And then what? The WNBA is super fucked. You're going to be a super money hole. How are you going to absolutely botch the biggest and pretty much only star since Lisa Leslie that you've had in the WNBA? It's insane. How are you mishandling her this bad? Ugh.
Well, at least we know it's an administrative issue.
Yeah,
right?
It's one of those things now. It's like I said, the argument became moot because like they have the stars, they have the ability to, like people are literally selling out stadiums to come and see her. Like that's undeniable at this point. It's an objective fact that's a money making person right there, and you're still not using her to make money, which is a bad way to say using her to make money. You're still not capitalizing on this opportunity with a great star to further the height and the name of your league, which you very much could. But shit, you're just going to get McDonald's Athlete of the Year again. Yippee, you're going to be on a McDonald's cup, like the high school basketball player also. Like there's certain levels of recognition that people deserve, especially when they're getting to doing that amount of work, and she ain't getting it. It's unfair. Did you know that, though? Oh, there's the women that go over to G League?
No, no idea.
That's what that whole, you remember Brittany Griner's name coming up in the news? That's what her whole thing was.
It's not that I'm not following women's NBA. It's that I'm not following any NBA.
Right. I wasn't trying to come on you for that. I was just saying the one famous news story you might have heard of involved a woman going over to G League basketball and playing in Russia because she didn't feel that she was getting appreciated enough in America. And then she had a weed pen in her thing, and Russia says very no to that.
So they go death.
Essentially, they kept her in a gulag for a while, but she's back now. She's good now. People were kind of mad at her over here because she was like, she had anti-American sentiments. Like, no, she just hates the fucking WNBA because they don't treat their athletes right and don't pay them anything they're worth. WNBA wants to be like, this isn't a profitable thing. Like, hey, okay, how much is your CEO making? That's what I fucking thought. Are you still making a multi-million-dollar salary? Like, okay, cool. You could be making a $1 million salary, and that'd still be crazy. I still wouldn't believe you make that much money. It's fucking, ugh. It's gross. Administrative bloat and issues be all over the place, but the WNBA is never more present than there. Because if you have something like the NBA where there's multi-billions of dollars, I mean, there's all the players are getting paid well. There's so many like just money getting thrown around, but the WNBA, there's not really a lot of that to dazzle you. You can kind of just see that all these people are getting underpaid and there's CEOs that are getting overpaid. Not even the top stars are making hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't know Caitlin Clark's salary, but I wouldn't doubt it's over like $50 million.
What city does she play for?
I want to say like Oklahoma. I'm not going to say anymore. I don't remember. Indiana Fever. I thought it was kind of close.
We should try and catch a game. Next season.
Why not? Might be kind of hard, honestly, especially for her home games. They get sold out quick.
Does Chicago not have a WNBA team?
I think they do. Again, for our ignorance, I do not know that. Sorry. I also don't follow a whole lot of NBA. I just know the WNBA kind of controversy that have been going on.
I mean, you know a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff that comes across when I see like, that's super, what you call it. It's interesting to me. I kind of just like delve into it and get kind of caught onto it. It seems we have the Chicago Sky as our team for the WNBA, which I think I knew that. I think I've seen billboards around for it. I just don't pay attention to the NBA, like, period. It's not really one of my sports. I like baseball, football, NBA kind of history sometimes, but it's third for me.
Very funny that our soccer team is the Chicago Fire.
Yeah.
Great. It was a tragedy.
Yeah, but, be on fire.
Okay. This came to me naturally, but I'm certain someone else has already made the joke already.
Yeah, you made the joke already. I'm
no,
pretty sure.
No. It's like naming a team the New York Jets.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
No.
It was made before 9/11, though, okay? So it was before the whole thing. Yeah. They didn't know. I wonder if they had a meeting, like, after 9/11, the Jets were like, so do we got to do it? We got to change it? They had to pull a Washington Commanders, but back in the 2000s. You know about that? You know about the Washington Commanders and the Cleveland Guardians?
It was Native American caricatures before, right?
Yes, and very non-PC terms. Yeah, the Redskins and the Indians for Cleveland. Yeah. And those had to change. But the Braves, the Atlanta Braves, keep on kicking, brothers. Oh, do that shit at every game. I guess that's okay. That seems a little odd, but yes.
I mean, we still have the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah, but I guess Blackhawk, isn't that like an actual, like, it's not even like Redskin or Indian. Like, that's an actual term for them, or like a tribe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that's Brave, I feel like, is one of those things, like, it's also a term, but it's just not like derogatory. So I guess it's kind of okay.
Yeah. Which reminds me, do you know the origins of the name Chicago?
Chicago, I don't. Do you know anybody that says Chicago before we do that? My aunts all do.
No. Where are they from?
Chicago. Grew up here. Yeah.
Chicago.
They say they literally like look at me weird when I say Chicago. Like, why you got that accent? It's Chicago. I'm like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're about to say.
It's named after the Native American word for a stinky onion that grew in the bog, swampy land that would eventually become Chicago.
Yeah, built this place on top of a swamp, and then it started sinking, so we had to pick it up and push it somewhere else.
That is a good bit of Chicago history.
It is
that
literally.
We actually did, like, just a bunch of people, because like the foundation of a house, it was just like all up on those boards, right? So they just lifted it up and they would walk it somewhere else.
They put it under logs and they rolled it. And they said people worked in those buildings. They didn't even really notice any of the moving because it was just so slow and like tumultuous. Just they put it on a log, they'd roll it the 1 inch, take the log out, put it back in front, roll it again, and do the same thing to turn it. They just put a log another way and just turn. Because I think they pushed it and then turned it 90 degrees. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but
it was only I think 5 or 6 buildings at that point, so it's not like they moved like a whole city. Like, it was still when the city was pretty fledgling, which is why they did it. They were like, we can't keep building on this swamp, otherwise we're fighting a losing battle.
Moved the Sears Tower.
Exactly. They weren't moving skyscrapers and shit. But even then, even after they moved it, it was still like we had decades of sidewalks just collapsing into fucking swamplands because we were still just built on top of a swamp, but a little bit less of a swamp.
Now we got like 50 feet of concrete underneath us.
Yeah. We had all those Irishmen dig the river, and then we were all good from there. Then no Irish need apply. Get them out of here.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm Irish. Yeah. I can say that.
So, Marvel Rivals. We've talked about... Have I talked to you about how horny the skins are?
No, but I'll believe it.
It is ridiculous.
Especially for characters like Black Widow and shit. Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, they really go all out on the swimsuits and stuff like that. Let's pull it back a little bit for earlier context. I played Overwatch for a bit there, right? And then there's this character, Diva. And then everyone got a new skin going from Overwatch 1 to 2. And if you spend any amount of time on a Reddit for any interest of yours that includes a woman in it, people are going to talk about how hot she is. Whatever. It happens.
Yep.
So I saw a post that pointed out that people said that D.Va got a butt nerf in Overwatch 2.
I remember this being news.
Yeah, they like compared them, and she had a smaller butt. Cool, whatever. Captain America got a skin in Marvel Rivals like a butt buff ago. Well, he had a like the asses in that game. It's like insane. Like if you watch someone like playing the game, you're like, what the fuck? Like
everybody's got bubble butts, fucking BBLs everywhere.
Insane. Like you don't.
Tina Belcher fucking coding the game.
Like, it's just there in front of you. I don't really watch anything for the game normally, but I saw it on Twitter that they gave Captain America a swimsuit costume, and he has this giant fucking bulge down there. And people are like, what the hell? Like,
why not?
Like, everybody has a big ass.
Yeah, and girls got like the big cans coming out too, so why not? Give them a healthy sausage.
They nerfed it.
Wait, what? They nerfed his bulge?
They nerfed his bulge.
No! You can't do that. You can't have Captain America tape it back. Come on. That's America's penis.
Maybe he just had a chub earlier. And now he's like, I don't know. It's cold water.
Yeah, he was a little excited before.
But yeah, they took it back.
Damn.
It was like excessive because like you have like emotes and stuff. You put people in the different poses, and like there was one where he had like his leg out, like a sort of stretch thing. It was like 2 inches of like just bulge. It's insane. It's crazy how horny they make those. I do not.
If it sells, it's one of the things it
sells a lot.
It's what people want. It's what the fans want. And if you're, you got to toe the line. PG-13 movies, they're gonna have the girls in the bikinis, and then they go shirtless, but it pans to the guy reacting to her shirtless. Because you can't see the boobs in PG-13, but they're there. They're there. You got to do shit like that. You always got to toe the line, push it wherever you can. I appreciate it.
I don't really care, like, personally that much. But
I don't play the
every
game.
Single thing I see is just like, God damn. Like, what are they...
I'm
very surprised. This is like a PG-13 game or something like that?
Listen, I would not doubt, right? There's people who... like do the digital animation like as a hobby, right? And a lot of them are self-taught, and then they eventually get into the industry, right? Because that's a lot of these what became industry professionals were self-taught for like animation and different things like that. So I would not doubt if a lot of the people who make the models also in their free time maybe do like some Rule 34 animations. I wouldn't doubt it. And then not to say like they just mixed up a model or something. Maybe they were just like, maybe I could just push it like this a little bit. And that's the line, like the line's in their head, right? They're just going to push it a little more towards that one. Mm-hmm. And they're like, maybe why not? Because I know I like it, and I know the people that I draw it for like it, and maybe that's people in the audience will like it.
No, I think this is coming from Head Honcho.
This is coming from Disney himself.
Stan Lee.
He's not alive anymore. It's got to come from
beyond the grave.
It's coming from Walt Disney's frozen head.
Apparition in the office of Tencent.
This you need to have Captain America's penis be 7 inches long at least. Not an inch shorter. Says 7 inches soft. That's America's penis.
Yes.
That's crazy.
He's rolling in his grave because they nerfed it.
They nerfed Captain America's penis. That is crazy. I can't believe it. Can't believe that wasn't bigger news. D.Va's butt nerf was news. Why wasn't Captain America's penis nerf news? This is sexism.
You're out of the circles.
Double standards. Yeah, maybe. I'm not really paying attention to Marvel Rivals that much.
Also, the Marvel Rivals thing was a response to people talking about it, but the D.Va thing is just like, meh. Like they just made a new model for the new game.
Yeah,
they didn't pay that much attention to that, I presume.
Yeah, they just didn't realize people would care.
Yeah.
God damn, that's funny. Marvel movies. Have you watched the new Punisher? By the way, speaking of Marvel movies,
no.
Pretty good. I don't know exactly what they're gonna do with it because it's like a 44-minute like TV movie that they did, and I don't know if it's going to lead into a whole nother series or if they're going to do like another series just where the Punisher is in it or what's going to happen. But they were kind of laying off the Punisher for a while because the whole the right-wing people wanted to adopt his symbol and whatnot. So we'll see what they do. I hope they do more. Some pretty cool shit.
He also has a big ass in Marvel Rivals.
Of course he does. Why not? People love Frank Castle. There's nothing hotter than a man with PTSD who would probably kill you in a moment's notice. For no real reason.
As long as he got a big butt.
Yeah.
And that's what people are into.
Hell yeah. Did you, so we were talking about like backlash and like news stories and everything. Did you pay attention to the Peter Dinklage backlash? It was a few years ago with the Snow White thing.
No. What did he say that short people shouldn't be like only cast
sort
into
of
roles like that?
Yeah, it was sort of. It's a really nuanced thing. I don't want to like just shit on Peter Dinklage because he said himself like in the very interview that a lot of people like to quote and be like, "Fuck you, Peter Dinklage." Like he said, "I don't want to be a spokesperson for my people." So like it's to say that he is that is very misleading. But he had this opinion of like this is kind of just like a dumb trope. Like we're still doing a Snow White and the Seven Dwarves story. Like, come on, is it really like we're gonna have 7 little people like help this little princess? Like whatever, man. That's kind of dumb. And it's like, I mean, I guess, but like also that's like a really famous fairy tale, and like the dwarves are heroes of the story, and dwarves are like in popular in mythical
culture. I remember a little bit of this, and I don't remember that being the issue. I remember it being that he took issue with those types of jobs kind of being the only ones available,
and that's what it eventually like his larger point was is that like the dwarf role is kind of like the only thing that is available to people, and it's. And then he like circled back to being like that's really the Snow White movie made him mad that they were still doing shit like that, like still just trying to make dwarf roles and cast dwarf roles for them. But then like there was a lot of other dwarf actors in Hollywood who were just like, hey man, those are the roles for us. Like we kind of want those roles. We don't share the same opinion as you. And then what the hell? Like you're basically kind of like cheating us out of jobs. And then they did the whole Disney's response to it was they stopped casting dwarves, then made it like magical people. Where like they were just all regular people with a token dwarf in there, and then they changed that to CGI dwarfs because people hated that way more. And then the CGI dwarfs people were like super extra pissed about. I mean, I forget who it was. I think it was Brad. I forget his last name. He's a stand-up comedian, but on his also as like a side gig. But he was talking about how it's basically just like a digital form of blackface. If you're just like making CGI dwarfs, like imagine if you needed a black person and you just CGI'd over a white person. Like it's a little strange, I guess, if you look at it like that, but I don't know. Where do you fall on that? Do you think that like if they're doing Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, so they just cast 7 dwarf actors for it? I think they just should. I think just fuck it. They want the roles. It's not like you're not demeaning them in that. I don't think there's a problem with it.
Yeah, I still don't really think that was exactly Peter Dinklage's point. I think that maybe he might not have been context a lot.
Right. It was a lot of just how
it makes sense to cast people with dwarfism as dwarves. Like, just they have the correct height for the type of character that. Right.
And if there's a dwarf in the story, and it's not like you're making him like the token dwarf, or like basically making his character the fact that he is like, or making fun of the fact that he is a dwarf. You know, like why not? Like if it's like Lord of the Rings, especially they didn't do for the Hobbits. They didn't do that, but I don't know.
They didn't do it for the dwarves either.
Isn't? Oh yeah, Gimli isn't he? Yeah. Yeah, shit. I don't know. Maybe Lord of the Rings should have caught more flack.
But again, like the problem, like yeah, like he was pointing out the like Snow White being like one of the only situations in which dwarves or people with dwarfism can get acting roles. He says that it's not enough.
Right, and there should be more acting roles. Like you should be casted just beside or regardless of your dwarfism.
Yeah, so the problem isn't really Snow White. Snow White upset him because it pointed out something about like their like situation that he feels is unfair. Like, but it's not that Snow White was like the wrong thing, or like in Lord of the Rings they did the wrong thing by having like just people, you know, like 5 foot whatever, playing people shorter than that,
right?
Through like camera tricks and stuff like that.
Right.
It's not crazy.
I don't think his comments are like super crazy either. I think like I said, it was I didn't want to just completely shit on Peter Dinklage because there's a lot of nuance to it. I think it was a lot of just like the reaction to it that made it a lot worse. Like Disney's reaction was basically just like, oh, we think we are like doing this bad to dwarves, so we're gonna do it this way. And then, oh, that's even worse to dwarves, so we're gonna do it this way. And oh, that's even worse to dwarves. Like they're digging their own graves with it.
Yeah. Also, Peter Dinklage is like someone that has like a pretty decent career.
Yeah,
too.
that
Like,
was another
Game
point
of
people
Thrones, where, like,
brought up. Like you're kind of saying that from a place where you already have acting roles. So if there was any little bit, because I think you're right, there wasn't really like a lot of shade being thrown to like the entire thing of like dwarf roles shouldn't be cast as dwarves. But there was that little bit of like, well, you already have some of those roles where you got casted despite your dwarfism, like as Game of Thrones or as there was other movies he had early in his career where he was just a normal guy and it wasn't really a part of his character like that. And so like people are saying like maybe you just didn't say it with the right amount of nuance because a lot of the dwarf actors who heard that were really pissed off at what he said, which I guess I can kind of see why. But I take more of like, what your stance was. Of just like he really wasn't like saying that, oh yeah, you shouldn't really cast dwarf actors. Just like they're not giving them the opportunities that you should. But then Disney kind of took that as, oh, we shouldn't cast dwarf actors. Yeah. And it's like that wasn't the right way to go. Speaking of the right way to go for this episode is toward the end of the episode. We're gonna do a couple of short ones here because we're on a little bit of a schedule, making sure we're smoking smoking smoke meat.
Sweet baby rays, sweet baby rays, sweet baby rays.
Sweet baby rays is good.
Brisket and the big one.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of Cold Hard Trash, CRT episode 108. If you like what you heard, if you're a fan of the Miami Dolphins, if you hate the Miami Dolphins, and you like that time that Dan Marino got his ass trounced by the Jacksonville Jaguars, let me know in the comments. I love talking about it. Till the next time we see you, though, hope you have a great day. We're going to be eating some meats. Peace.